can now go across to France 24's regional correspondent Bastien Renouil standing by. Bastien, tell us, will things be different with this truce?
Well, according to my contacts in Khartoum, the answer to your question is no. They tell me that they cannot imagine how the situation can change within the next hours, within the next days, given that they can still hear explosions and gunshots. They do not believe that this new ceasefire can change anything for them. The 4 previous ceasefires brokered by the United States and Saudi Arabia were not fully implemented. So what could be the difference with this one? Well, it was brokered by the IGAD, the Intergovernmental Authority for Development. It's a regional East African organization promoting peace and development within the region. The IGAD asked 3 presidents of the region, President of Kenya, South Sudan and Djibouti, to go to Khartoum to organize a mediation between al-Burhan and Hemeti, the head of the army and the head of the Rapid Support Forces. It did not work, so South Sudan took the lead and is trying to organize a mediation. This new truce is supposed to last for 7 days to give enough time to the Rapid Support Forces and to the army to send mediators, to send envoys to Juba to organize a mediation, to negotiate. But what can they negotiate? It's very difficult to understand that at the moment, because the army already said several times that it will not negotiate with Hemeti before the dissolution of the Rapid Support Forces. And Hemeti himself, the head of the Rapid Support Forces, said on Monday during an interview that he believes he can win this war. There is no real reason for him to negotiate. So all the Sudanese civilians who are still stranded in Khartoum are really hoping for a real ceasefire, but most of them do not believe that it can change anything at the moment.
And Bastien, the security situation inside Sudan continues to worsen. I've read reports of embassy premises being looted. Plus, we have just reports coming in right now that 6 trucks carrying food aid to Sudan's Darfur region have been looted. That's according to the United Nations. So as the security situation continues to plummet, so does the humanitarian situation on the ground.
Absolutely, yes. The fighting continues in Khartoum and in several other regions, even if the fighting are less intense at the moment in Darfur. My contacts on the ground tell me that the Rapid Support Forces and the army are not fighting each other at the moment in the cities of El Janina, al-Bashir and Nyala, the 3 main cities of Darfur. But they say that a lot of lootings are ongoing, that humanitarian warehouses are being looted, that the situation remains very difficult for them. So many people are still trying to escape from Sudan. Many foreigners are still trying to escape as well from Khartoum. We know that yesterday Russia sent armored vehicles to escort a bus full of diplomats and Russian citizens to this airstrip located 20 kilometers north of Khartoum. They were evacuated. Evacuations are still ongoing in Port Sudan as well, evacuation from the UK, from the US. Port Sudan is really the humanitarian hub of Sudan at the moment. Many foreign countries are trying to evacuate their citizens from Port Sudan, and many international organizations as well are trying to send help, to send humanitarian aid through Port Sudan. I'm currently at the United Nations headquarters for Africa here in Nairobi. Martin Griffiths, the Undersecretary for Humanitarian Help, was sent to Port Sudan yesterday. He is currently in Sudan and he's trying to organize the United Nations assistance for the country, and many other organizations are trying to send help in Sudan. The International Committee for the Red Cross sent 8 tons of medical supplies a few days ago. They're trying to send doctors in Port Sudan, but it's very difficult because of the war. MSF, the French NGO, sent several tons of medical supplies to an hospital in Khartoum. The World Food Programme is trying to send as much food as possible, but it's still very tricky to send all this help in Sudan, given the fighting continues in several places around the country. But it's very urgent to bring this help because millions of people are still stranded within Khartoum and in several cities in Darfur, and they need this humanitarian help.
Indeed. Thank you very much for that, Bastien. Bastien Renouil reporting that for us from Nairobi.